Yeah. MD. JPB. It's only right, baby.
Yeah, why you mad? I got a bad bro. Name hot in these streets, no Tabasco. But I'm so stubbed, that's a fact, yo. And if you think I'm frontin', you can run it back, yo. Go run it back.
You know that I run it. Everything you wanna do, I already done it. And I got your little boo telling me she love me. I got this one, that one. Damn, it's gonna be a long night.
Hello guys, it is me, Prince for this time, back here with another video. Today I'm doing What If Naruto was Arthur's Reincarnation. And before we get into it, I'm going to ask you guys to subscribe and share and like this video and, do whatever else. Go check out the playlist for What If Deku ate the Mary no maybe, because now it is complete, so you can watch it from 1 to 11 and, to the finale. And I hope you enjoy yourself. And, yeah, let's just get right into this. Yeah, let's go. So our story starts off with Naruto being born as his parents die protecting him. However, this version of Naruto seems to be fully aware of everything that's happening. What is this? Who are these people? Arthur's soul would manifest in Naruto's body as he had completed his second life, and so he was on to his third now. However, unlike Naruto, he actually saw everything that happened up to this point, almost a few minutes after he was born. He just started to see everything, and he realized he reincarnated again. He sees the decisions that his parents have made just to protect him, and as Kushina tells him about hygiene, girls, studying, and manners, he would start to cry along with his parents, as Kushina would apologize for not letting Minato talk. It's fine, Naruto. My advice to you as a father is everything your chatty mother just said, okay? He would smile as Kushina's tears fall on Naruto's face, and Minato finished sealing Kurama's yin side into Naruto. To risk so much for their child, it must have been very honorable people, thinks Arthur. Don't worry, I'm here now, and I'll make sure this child stays safe. He will grow strong, and I'll make sure he's fine. I guess that I'm now him, so what choice do I have, right? Now, however, despite saying this, he could not help but weep like a child, as the barrier erected by Kushina would be broken, and Hiruzen would walk in to see a crying Naruto. He realizes what happened, and Kushina, with her dying breath, tells him the name of the child. Naruto Uzumaki. Now, a time skip to when Naruto is a toddler, and being the reincarnation of Arthur, he was always moving around, doing things, and despite being a mere toddler, he was doing things that a toddler should not be able to do. And of course, at this point, he was still living with Hiruzen because he's a freaking child, and he would always be sneaking out of his room to read books on chakra, out of his crib, and to read books on chakra. And it seems that this new world has completely new standards and completely different power hierarchy, so he had to study. Hiruzen would notice this and would start to find that Naruto was a very strange child, but he was also a genius, as one day, not only did Naruto manifest chakra, he basically burst with so much of it that it made things rumble and little objects fall and break. He was only 1 year old. That's impressive. Hiruzen, of course, get impressed. I guess sometimes greatness is hereditary, thinks Hiruzen. He would then pick up Naruto, who was only 1 year old, again, 1 year old, and say, "From now on, I'm gonna train you, kid." Naruto would then giggle as Hiruzen smiles, and from there on now, Hiruzen would train Naruto. Of course, he didn't make him fight or anything. He's a child. But he did make Naruto meditate all the time. Not that it was really his idea. It was more like Naruto always did it, regardless of what he said. So he said, just keep doing that until you get older. And he would increase his chakra output every time he did this, and he would keep getting more books to read from Hiruzen. Then when Naruto turned 3, he was able to walk and communicate well, but not normally speak like a person is allowed to until their vocal cords fully, you know what I mean. So Hiruzen would ask him what he wanted to focus on, and Naruto would say that he wants to focus on swordsmanship, aka Kenjutsu. So hearing these words and the intentions behind them, Hiruzen would give the child a wooden sword to practice with, and as he asked Naruto to show him what he could do, Naruto would show movements that should not be possible for a child. However, of course, due to having a small body, again, for the second time, well, technically the third time, he would trip multiple times, but he would get back up and keep trying, leaving Hiruzen impressed with his indomitable will. Now, in between these training sessions, Naruto would take breaks and just walk around, and soon winter came. So around this point, he would be 4 year old ish. But He didn't wear a coat. He would just walk around without a coat because he wanted to also train while relaxing. He just couldn't help himself. He was heating his body up using chakra, but as he's walking around, he would see a bunch of boys bullying one girl. He would get in front of her. Hey, stop it. She's obviously hurting. One of the kids would then say, oh, is that demon kid? The kids would then start to talk about Naruto badly, and he just stands there wondering who the hell even released the secret of him being the village's Jinchuriki anyway. Then he would stop thinking and get serious. As he palm strikes the air, it causes a shock wave of wind to just hit the boys, and it sends them flying into the snow. This kid can use jutsu? Says one of the kids. Naruto would then release a bunch of bloodlust as they run away while yelling for their parents. Seriously, what is wrong with kids in these worlds? They're like psychos, thinks Naruto. He would then turn back to look at Hinata, and he gives her a hand, but she hesitated for a bit because the rumors of Naruto are not exactly good, and he would say, come on, my arm is getting tired. She would then grab his hand and get up as she would thank him and apologize for being so rude, and Naruto would say it was nothing. Then he would take her back to the Hyuga compound, and as he brings her back home, her attendant, who was supposed to be keeping her his eyes on her, would say that he's been looking for her everywhere. Hinata would say she was fine and that Naruto brought her back home. Naruto, thinks the guard. He would then look to see a yellow-haired boy waving at him with a smile, but knowing who he is, he would release a bunch of bloodlust since he wants him to leave like shoo. However, as Naruto was smiling, he would release a bunch of murderous aura back at the man to make him fall to the ground in fear. Now, as Hinata would ask him what's wrong, while scared, the man would point at Naruto, who Hinata would look back to see, but he was already leaving. I hope I get to see you again, says Naruto. Yeah, me too, thinks Hinata. She would then blush as we cut to Naruto training. Hiruzen would go on to teach him a few moves, with Naruto quickly adapting and learning them. Then, using a technique from his second life, Naruto would circulate chakra through his body as he kept moving. And it was much easier this time since he knew what he actually had to do. He learned this from Sylvia, the dragon. You should go read it. Seriously, go read the beginning after the end. It is so awesome, except for the later chapters in my opinion. So one day Hiruzen would find Naruto training on the training ground that he made specifically for him, and as he would thrust his sword forward, slash down, and bring it around and slash horizontally, it would cause a huge gust of wind to head Hiruzen's way. And as the bit of wind just hits him, he would think, did he just enhance himself with chakra? No, it was something different. How is he able to keep that flow of energy so constant? He's just a child. Now, as Hiruzen would be thinking this, Naruto would keep swinging his sword for hours and hours, and while also doing this, he would bring out his ability to manipulate wind. He's a quadrimental, by the way. Arthur is a quadrimental. He can use the four basic elements. So, yeah. And Naruto would strictly focus on wind for now, and mastery Kenjutsu, because in his past life, he kind of like just got obsessed with magic and forgot to train his sword skills, which were amazing. So he's going to work on that now. He would work on this until he was 5 years old, and then he would be in the academy by then, and he was living on his own. Now, when Naruto entered the academy, he was a genius, and I mean a genius, and only getting more and more attention. He even got Rookie of the Year, easily beating Sasuke because he was far more experienced and just stronger. So due to his popularity, certain people would come to love Naruto because, well, I mean, the man, you can't really deny the guy's skills, and he doesn't seem like a bad kid, you know? But of course, some people still hated him, but, you know, he doesn't care. So soon Naruto would get an actual sword from Hiruzen, a proper one that he would always carry with him everywhere, and instead of being the goofy, typical Naruto like in the original, he would be calm, cool, and just collected, and when people tried to fight him, he just destroyed them because he's already dealt with stuff like that in his past life, and he is sick of being attacked by people, specifically kids. Why are kids in every lifetime he goes to such assholes? He always kept wondering that, so he just dispatched them. He was done with them. This is the ninja world. They're not in the academy. He doesn't have to be polite. So, anyway, quick time skip to when Naruto was 7. Hiruzen would let him look at the scroll of sealing, and as such, Naruto would master the Shadow Clone Jutsu, which made him even stronger. He would become quite adept at using his clones, and he barely ran out of energy, which is something that Arthur found very impressive. When I say Arthur, I'm referring to the collective knowledge of, like, that's the soul of Arthur that's inside Naruto. Naruto is what people call him, but he still considers himself technically Arthur because he's too attached to that second life. It was his best one. So yeah, he found that this new body had a multitude of energy and stamina, and he admired that about the kid because whether or not he took over this kid's body, he was going to be something amazing. So Taking that into account, he would go on to use his new nature, lightning, because he already practiced his wind enough. And instead of being orange, the lightning would be normal lightning, which is blue. And he would learn to once again envelop himself with it, and he would call this move Surge. I think that's what it's called. Tell me in the comments if it's not. So when he entered this form, his hair would just spike up, and his speed would be increased tenfold, and he could extend the lightning from his limbs and his sword to her enemies. So he would take years practicing his lightning attribute until he was 9, and he would work on his assassination skills by once again using a technique from his second life, and he would learn to completely hide his presence by balancing the output of his chakra and using his wind attribute to make his steps lighter when he ran. So he could be coming at you like super fast. You would never even know he was there, and you would never hear his steps. It's kind of scary, but being a ninja requires a lot of stealth, so that's what he focused on. So at this point in life, Naruto would be 10 years old, and it would be in the forest working hand-to-hand combat by sparring 4 of his clones. One clone would come at him throwing a barrage of punches, but Naruto deflected all of them and palm strikes the clone until it just, poofs. He just keeps palm striking it until it poofs. He would then duck down, sensing something, and he would dodge a kick from another clone, and he would then sweep kick the clone, and as it's falling down, he would punch it in the chest as it falls and poofs as well. He would then finish the other clones that are left, and when he's done, he would sit down reviewing how he could have moved differently, because by this point, he already knows how clones really operate. He can share info when they poof, so yeah, he would be sitting down by the tree just drinking water and keep thinking about stuff when he would hear something as he catches 3 shuriken coming at him between his fingers. Old man, you should really stop with these surprise attacks. Hiruzen would then walk out from the forest laughing. Sorry, Naruto, I just wanted to see how you were doing on your training. So you couldn't just ask me like a normal person? Asked Naruto. Hiruzen would then sit by Naruto, who throws the shuriken at a tree, and the shuriken just sticking perfectly. Hiruzen would then whistle, saying, "Damn, kid. So, what is your goal in all this? I just realized I spent years and years training you, but I never asked you what exactly do you want in life?" Naruto would then look up at the sky, saying, "Well, I want to go on adventures, travel the world, just meet people, get stronger. I just want to live a good life, I guess. Well, good life by my standards." He wasn't hearing these words would be stunted because Naruto has always been too mature for his age, because when he talked to him, he felt like he was talking to an old buddy, not a teenager. So him and Naruto would just keep talking and talking as we time skip to when Naruto is 13 years old. He would wake up and head for school, not wearing something akin to the original, something actually quite different, kind of similar to what's on the on the screen right now. And he would put his sword in his hilt, and as he leaves, he runs on top of buildings using something that he names Light Step. And by cushioning his steps with wind, he would increase his own speed and propel himself forward. He did this because he didn't want people to hear him stomping on the ceiling. So yeah, and soon he arrived at class pretty early as he sat down. As he did, a bunch of girls would just keep talking and just talking about him, and he just couldn't help but feel awkward from the other guy's stares because they were hating him, thinking that he was so lucky. Naruto would just ignore these stares and sit in his seat using a method similar to mana rotation and just keep sucking in more mana and keep absorbing more chakra. Keep absorbing in more chakra like you would have done in his past life, and he keeps rotating it as well. And as he would keep doing this, Sasuke would look at him. He's always doing that during class. Strange. Now Sasuke would be wondering about this. Everyone would hear a loud just noise as soon as Sakura and Ino charge in, arguing over who's gonna sit next to Sasuke. And in the end, Sakura wins, but also also wins in a way because, oh, I get to sit with Naruto now. So she went to sit by him at the back of the class. She would try to get his attention and just try to get his attention over and over and over again. But he would just ignore her and keep meditating, keeping his eyes closed. Don't those two have anything else better to do than just bother everyone else? Thanks, Naruto. He would then keep meditating as Iruka walks in thinking, he's doing it again. Iruka would then yell at Naruto, telling him to open his eyes, and Naruto apologizes and listens. Iruka would then say it's okay, as he says that today is the final test, and with him is Mizuki judging them as well. And Mizuki would walk in, just waving to the students as he says hi, and they welcome him. So the first person up would be Naruto, and he was supposed to do the clone jutsu like everyone else, and he would start walking down with some girls cheering him on. As he gets down, Iruka tells him to start, and he faces his classmates thinking, I can't make too many. I don't need to stand out more than I already am. Naruto would then only make one shadow clone, with others thinking that it was an illusion clone, but Mizuki and Iruka knew it was a shadow clone. Naruto Uzumaki passes, yes, says Iruka. Everyone would then cheer as Mizuki hands Naruto his headband, and he takes it, tying it around his neck. Then he would go back to his seat and sit back down. Wow, Naruto, that was awesome, says Ino. Naruto would then look at her with a blank face, saying it wasn't really that impressive, it was just one clone. Ino would then not know how to respond to this as Naruto sighs in annoyance, and this is when he notices someone staring at him. This person would be Hinata, as he would smile at her and her face would look completely red. She really needs to stop being shy. I'm not really that intimidating, am I? Thinks Naruto. So time skip to everyone leaving, and Naruto would leave this time, not being bothered by Mizuki because Mizuki knew he could not trick this guy. At this point, he already know that and was sure that Naruto could whoop his ass, so he would try to steal the scroll himself and end up getting caught and captured. And so Naruto would have stopped, wouldn't have stopped him this time, but yeah, he still gets caught. He doesn't want to deal with this bull crap, but he knew what he was planning, but it was never gonna work anyway. So he found it kind of funny. So time skip to when everyone is in class, waiting for their names to be called up and their teams to be formed. Team 7 this time will be filled with Naruto, Sasuke, and Hinata. Hearing this, all the girls would instantly get jealous of Hinata, who would be so red in the face that she almost passes out. And this means that Sakura is with Kiba and Shino, and honestly, they don't like that any more than she does. As for Naruto and Sasuke, they're fine with it, being on a team together, because they don't really have a reason to hate each other at all. They never bothered each other. Naruto wasn't a loudmouth, always like yelling at him, and Sasuke just doesn't care. So as the teams were made, Team 7 would wait for their captain to come and get them, but he would take so long. Before leaving, Iruka would wish them good luck because Kakashi was quite a strict person, but everyone else was already gone with their captain, so they would spend hours waiting for Kakashi, and during this, Naruto would just keep rotating his chakra. You would then notice someone approaching him. Why do you always do that? Asked Sasuke. Naruto would then open one of his eyes, saying, "What? Meditating? What's wrong with it?" Sasuke would then say, "There's nothing wrong with it. It's just that I want to know why you do it so much. It's a different method to increase your chakra output," says Naruto. When both Sasuke and Hinata hear this, they get interested, and this is when Kakashi finally walks in. "I'm assuming you're Team 7? They would then say yes, with him asking them to meet him on the roof, and when they do meet him on the roof, Kakashi would sit down by a railing as the three sit in front of him. "So, what are your dreams, aspirations, all of them? Tell me what you want for yourself." "You first, Hinata." Hinata would then say she wants to be a reliable Hyuga and just strong overall, and she kind of stares at Naruto a bit. Sasuke would want to kill a certain person, and yeah, he's just a lone wolf type of guy. He doesn't really like anything, that's what he says. Naruto would then look at him as he's talking, saying, "That look in his eyes. It reminds me of when we first fought. He had the exact same look." Now, as you be thinking this, Kakashi would call his name, snapping Naruto out of his trance, saying, "Oi, kid, come on, introduce yourself." Naruto would then scratch his head nervously, saying, "Sorry, I want to travel the world, see every corner of it, and get stronger and stronger than anyone ever has. That way I can live in peace, finally. Also, I like training and ramen." Kakashi would look at this boy and notice one thing. His chakra is massive as hell, and he can tell that Naruto has been learning how to suppress it. Hiruzen has even told him not to underestimate him, and now he knew why. Kakashi would then say, "Alright then, we start our duties tomorrow. We're gonna do a little something, just the three of us. It's a sort of survival training, but I'll tell you the rest tomorrow." "Wait, can you tell specifically what the test is?" asked Hinata. Kakashi would then instead of saying, "Sorry, can't. By the way, don't eat any breakfast tomorrow." He would then poof as the team is just left there frustrated, and Naruto would then just start walking away as he jumps off the building and lands down, but Sasuke follows him. Meanwhile, Hinata has just, gone back home because her family's strict like that. Naruto would be going into the forest like usual to train, but when he arrives, he sighs, saying, "There's no use in hiding. I can feel your presence, Sasuke would then come out saying, "Huh, was that obvious?" "Yeah, kinda. What do you want?" responds Naruto. Sasuke would then say that he just wants to train because he has things he needs to do, and to do that he has to get much stronger. Using his years of experience, Arthur would know that Sasuke was going to be an incredible person one day, and he would just take off his sword and throw it to the ground as he prompts Sasuke to fight him. Come on, let's see how much you've improved since that day. Sasuke would smile as he launches at Naruto, and 3 hours later, he would end up on the ground, gasping for breath, unable to really do anything. All his attacks were parried by Naruto constantly, and he just kept dodging everything while not being threatened enough to hit him back. And as he would be on the ground gasping for air, Naruto would pick up his sword, saying, "Don't worry, you'll get used to it soon." He would then leave as Sasuke stayed on the ground, and we cut to the next day when Naruto would meet up with the team again. And when he came, he saw that Kakashi wasn't really around. He and Sasuke would then start up a conversation, which Hinata inevitably joins because she wants to feel like part of the team. This is no time to be shy. And they were talking about training methods, and when Naruto describes his, Hinata and Sasuke are both shocked because he basically never ever does anything else but train. He's always training constantly. It's like he doesn't even sleep. "How many natures do you have?" asked Hinata. Naruto would then say, "I can use them all." Sasuke and Hinata would then be impressed that he can do that, but he says that of course he can't use all the elements yet, but he knows he can. We flash back to before Naruto even started training. Hiruzen would approach the young man with a piece of paper, asking him to flow chakra into it. Naruto would listen to him and flow chakra into the paper, and it cuts into 4 parts. One part wrinkles, one burns, one crumbles, one gets soaked, and amazed by this, Hiruzen would gasp just happily as he just smiles. So back to the present, the three would keep talking and talking, and they actually get along. Naruto knows that Sasuke, to a point, is very egotistical, but he's met way worse people. At least Sasuke is still logical, you know. And the way he acts is kind of justified considering he saw his entire clan being massacred, so yeah. And since Naruto is actually very old and is actually Arthur, it's like he's watching over a child. He's not gonna like try to fight with him. As for Hinata, even though she's very shy, she clearly has some skill and is very kind-hearted but not naive. And although it's very obvious to Naruto that she likes him, that might mess up her judgments, and he plans to rectify that soon. So they keep talking until Kakashi arrives, and since he's been late twice, in like this time, like Naruto and Sasuke berate him, but Hinata can't because she's not a yelling type. So he would apologize as he would just start setting up the timer and explain the rules, blah blah blah. And then after he was done, he would hold up the bells. "Do whatever you can to get these. Use shurikens, use the most dangerous jutsu, whatever. You have to come at me with the intent to kill." Naruto would then take out his sword. Kakashi takes out a book and says start. Instantly, Sasuke and Hinata would jump into the bushes as they noticed that Naruto was still standing in front of Kakashi. "What the hell is he doing?" thinks Sasuke. "So you're not gonna hide like your friends over there?" says Kakashi. "No, don't need to," says Naruto. He would then put up his sword. Kakashi thinks, "Alright kid, let's see if the Hokage was right about you." As he said this, he would see his book get cut in half and it falls out of his hand. And when he sees this, he would get sent flying, skipping on the ground as Hinata and Sasuke would then see Naruto standing with his leg raised in the air, and he would put it back down. "I know that's not the real you, sensei, just come out," says Naruto. Kakashi was sent flying would then poof as another Kakashi would walk out from the forest. "Wow, you really don't mess around." This is when Sasuke would come out of the bush using the wildfire dance, but Kakashi would easily counter him as he would grab his legs and feet and then he would push him back. However, while in midair, Sasuke throws a bunch of shuriken towards Kakashi, who would catch the first shuriken, but it turns out to be all connected to a wire, and Kakashi would catch fire from Sasuke just passing fire through the wire. Sasuke would then land back down, still acting vigilant and just looking around. Both Naruto and Hinata at this moment would then tell him to jump, and as he hears this, a hand would just come out of the ground. He would jump in time. Naruto would then speed over and pull out Kakashi from the ground, and as he would be in mid-air, Hinata would come out with a palm strike to Kakashi's stomach. She sends him flying a few feet as Kakashi would be impressed. "Not bad, but this is when I get serious," says Kakashi. As he says this, however, this is when he would hear a jingle as Naruto would be holding up the bells. Sorry, but we win." He would then give the bells to Sasuke and Hinata as they would be shocked, wondering when he got them. "Wait, aren't you gonna fail? There's only 2 bells, says Hinata. Naruto would then look at Kakashi saying, "So sensei, am I going back to the academy?" Kakashi would then sigh as he says he will not, because even if he didn't get the bell himself, I mean, that's some pretty impressive teamwork, and Even if it wasn't intentional, it was pretty good teamwork. Yeah, you know. The three would then feel relieved as they are now officially getting. From there on, the team will go on missions, and during these missions, Sasuke would get more and more competitive with Naruto since he realizes that him and Naruto are actually on a team together now. So yeah, he can't be outdone by him, and Hinata will learn to talk more with Naruto since she has no choice, and yeah, she needs to really just stop being shy. Naruto would teach Hinata to be less tense and nervous in battle, and he would have her spar him a lot, and even at times he would release a lot of bloodlust to make her serious. As for Sasuke, he would get more competitive with Naruto because they're on the same team now, and he can't afford to be shown up, like I said. Soon, however, things would get boring, so once Naruto and his teams come back to give a report for their recent mission, Naruto would speak up. He would then slam his hand on Hiruzen's desk. "Old man third, you gotta give us a higher ranked mission." Man, I love not being forced to be polite. This new world is perfect for me, thinks Naruto. "Oh ho, demanding the Hokage, aren't you, Chiki?" says Hiruzen. "You know these missions are below us. I'm a combatant, not someone who does chores," says Naruto. "You want a better mission, huh?" "Well, all you have to do is just ask," says Hiruzen. Hearing these words, they will all be confused. Even Kakashi, as Hiruzen would then call in a drunk old man. He would introduce Tazuna, as he would tell them their job is to escort him somewhere, and the drunk man would then criticize everyone, even Naruto, since he's still the shortest. He's just a reincarnation of Arthur, and Arthur, when he was reincarnated, Arthur, he wasn't that tall to begin with in the beginning, so yeah. Naruto would then sigh, saying, "Sir, would you like to see my qualifications? I assure you, I'm more than capable to protect you, as is my team." Tazuna would then be hit with so much bloodlust that he gets out of his drunken state and just nervously says, "Yeah, this should be more than enough indeed." Everyone would then have felt this bloodlust, with them wondering why it seems like sometimes Naruto seems to be switching personalities, because he can go from being nice, calm, and kind of goofy to bloodthirsty, as if he had dual personalities. Anyway, they would get their things ready, pack up, and leave. And as they're on their way, they would pass by a puddle with Naruto sensing something. He would then throw a wind slash at the puddle. However, before the attack hits, out of the puddle come out two men who manage to avoid the attack, and one of the men would head straight for Naruto. But as he does, before he can even release his weapon, Naruto appears behind him, neck chopping him and knocking him out. The other, which was going for Tazuna, would then see his brother defeated, and this would distract him as Hinata would come in with a palm strike to his stomach and knocking him out as well. "Good job noticing that genjutsu, Naruto." And Hinata, "Nice hit," says Kakashi. She would then be happy for being complimented, as she would then see Naruto put a thumbs up, and she blushes because "I got a thumbs up from my crush, blah blah blah." Sasuke would feel a bit left out, but who cares, he doesn't need Kakashi's compliments. From here on out, things would go the same, and Tazuna tells them the true rank of what the mission should be. Regardless, they would continue to escort him anyway, and they leave the Demon Brothers tied up against a tree. Continuing on their road, as soon as they arrive near the unbuilt bridge and pass it and arrive on land, they will be kind of like, "Oh, we're close." You know, they're kind of happy that this journey is finally coming to an end soon. However, this is when Kakashi would tell everyone to get down, and over their heads would fly a sword, and they managed to dodge it with the sword getting stuck in a tree, and on it lands Zabuza Momochi. Naruto would know who this was because he studied about him, and instantly he appeared kicking Zabuza in the stomach before any of his teammates even reacted. "When did he get over there?" thinks Sasuke. Zabuza would be in midair, and he sees Naruto coming down at him with his blade. "Who the hell is this kid?" thinks Zabuza. He would then be cut by Naruto as he poofs into a log, and Naruto smirks, landing back down and holding his sword at his side. "Not bad," says Naruto. Zabuza would then reappear in front of Naruto, and Kakashi would arrive behind him. "So today I get to fight Sharingan Kakashi and this strong kid. Fun," says Zabuza. "Sensei, I got this," yells Naruto. Kakashi would then say, "Naruto, this isn't a joke. Leave this to me." Naruto would then sigh, saying, "Sensei, remember when I beat you?" I wasn't going all out," responds Kakashi. Naruto would then burst with chakra as everyone feels a lot of power and bloodlust behind it. Zabuza and Kakashi as well would just shudder as like how much power this kid has, and Naruto would say, "Neither was I, Sensei," replying to Kakashi's comment. How will this battle play out, and how will Naruto defeat Zabuza? I guess we'll have to find out in the next part, because this is where I am leaving it off. welcome to the end of the video once again. Thank you for watching the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share this with anybody else who might like this what if. Now that I got that out of the way, I gotta tell y'all that I'm adding a like goal to this one because I feel a bit weird about this series, even though I still want to do it. So I want to see how much you like it, and then if you like it enough, I will continue it. So the like goal will be 1K. I'm hoping you can reach that soon. I'll give you 3 days to reach 1K, and if you cannot, well, yeah, this is either getting like held for now or I will just stop it. So that's up to you. If you like this series enough, just leave a like. It's not that hard. I have 11 subscribers and 11K subscribers. It should not be that hard. Just add 1K to the likes. So yeah, anyway, yeah, I hope you like this. Stay safe. I am going to go to sleep, and I hope you enjoy your day, blah blah blah. If you haven't watched the latest video I just posted, like I said, it's up here in the upper right corner. Go check it out. Have fun, and goodbye.